I do want to spend 1 minute on some politics here because Jake Sullivan, National Security Advisor, this is unbelievable. Did you guys see this? He dropped a piece in Foreign Affairs magazine, and it's incredible what he wrote. And they allowed him to go back and scrub it for the online version. So the print piece was released, and then they allowed him, this is how we know the differences between the two, to go back and scrub the online version of what he had said prior to the attack on the Israelis. And I'm just going to give you a couple of, the deputy editor of Tablet magazine posted all this on X, Jeremy Stern, what he calls deleted gems from the original, okay? This is what Jake Sullivan, our National Security Advisor, was saying right before the terrorist attack on Israel. Things like, the Israeli-Palestinian situation is tense. Yes, okay, good. Particularly in the West Bank. You're close. But in the face of serious frictions, we have de-escalated crises in Gaza. Jake, wow, okay? It's tense in the West Bank in particular. But in Gaza, things have de-escalated. Wrong, wrong, and wrong. And restored direct diplomacy between the parties after years of its absence. My God, he goes on. When Biden became president, U.S. troops were under regular attack in Iraq and Syria. Such attacks, at least for now, have largely stopped. We know from reporting this week, we had 24 service members hurt by drones that went over our bases in the wake of this terrorist attack in those exact places. Another fail. Biden's disciplined approach frees up resources for other global priorities. It reduces the risk of new Middle Eastern conflicts and ensures the U.S. interests are protected on a far more sustainable basis. Wrong, wrong, and wrong. And then we have this. We have acted militarily to protect U.S. personnel, and we have enhanced deterrence. We have enhanced deterrence combined with diplomacy to discourage further Iranian aggression. He ends with the region, all this deleted. The Foreign Affairs allowed him to delete this from the online version. The region is quieter than it has been for decades. Go us. The progress is fragile, to be sure. Oh, Jake, truer words never spoken there. But it is also not an accident. Biden's approach returns discipline to U.S. policy. It emphasizes deterring aggression, de-escalating conflicts, and integrating the region. Yay, kumbaya, we found peace in the Middle East, go us. And then it's record scratch. And the press saying, we'll help you out, brother. We'll just delete, backspace. So what do you guys think of it?
I mean, by the way, that's just an admission of failure. It said, this is what we're planning on doing. And then, oh, by the way, none of it happened. If these people were halfway honest, which of course they're not, which is why they work in Washington, D.C., he would actually go back to this and say, here is where actually we got this totally wrong. I would admire that. Yeah. Somebody said, this is what it was before, and this is actually what happened. And these are the signs we missed. The Israeli government, the IDF, the Mossad, Shin Bet, they're all having to deal with this now. And they're saying, we're going to put this to the side at the moment and try to, go into Gaza and actually do what we need to do. The thing that nobody points out, and these guys
can I just say something quickly, Moynihan? Yeah. He did add an addendum, which doesn't say any of that. It doesn't say that. It only pulls out a couple of those choice phrases like, I said the progress was fragile, that perennial challenges remained. And says, the October 7th attacks have cast a shadow over the entire regional picture. So he's basically saying those couple phrases I put in there as a CYA, I covered it. I had it. I understood everything.
I didn't suspect that when I read that fragile would possibly translate to the largest bloodletting in the Jewish state since its existence, but maybe I'm misreading the word fragile. The thing that none of these people are talking about is you hear a phrase all the time, and I doubt the truth of this, but it's broadly true that the population of Gaza, 50%, is under the age of 18. It's a very young population. We'll just put it that way. After World War II, we did something called denazification. And the idea was that people had been so polluted by Nazi ideology that to get them on the track to democracy was going to be a difficult road. And we actually had to actively engage with democratic concepts when people who had been destroyed, overwhelmed, and accepted fascism. We have a country here where we talk desperately all the time about what kids are reading in school, books are reading in school. How do people do what we saw them do on video? How do they make a call? And I'm sure, Megyn, you heard this, and your listeners have probably heard it, of the guy who used the phone of somebody that they murdered to call his father and say, Papa, aren't you proud of me? I killed 10 Jews with my bare hands. He's ecstatic. How does that happen? He's jubilant. How does one make peace with a population of people under the age of 18, 50%? Hamas has been in power since they took over with a plurality, not even a majority, in 2006, and then never had another election. And if you watch Al-Aqsa TV and see what people are absorbing in schools, it's genocidal anti-Semitism. How does one deal with that, as opposed to these stupid Jake Sullivan platitudes about, well, we're doing this and we're doing that, and then blink, and then you have 1,400 people murdered in one of the largest pogroms the largest pogrom in the 21st century, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then there's back at home, guys, right, where we see, you mentioned the posters, Welch, being torn down. We've seen that. We've seen the protests as well. We've seen little incidents which just show disgusting anti-Semitism. There's no other word for what we see time and time again. This is one loser, obviously, but just think about being this woman in this exchange where the guy took over the bike lane that she was in with her kid, her toddler, from the look of it. You saw this yesterday on X. We pulled it at SOT 13.
Because I haven't done nothing to you.
All I'm asking you to do is move out of the bike lane.
I don't care what you're asking. I don't gotta comply with you.
No, of course not. But that's just the law.
So go your ass around.
It's not safe. I don't want to go into the contraflow lane.
Your life is not my concern.
I understand that. I am, in fact.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew you was a Jew. You people are the devil. Now we're going. I knew it. You are the devil. Now we're going. Hey, bro, get to Karen, bro. She is trash. This is why you doing this, because you think you entitled.
I just feel, I realize there's anti-Semites out there, but I don't think this guy would have been like, are you a Jew? 2 weeks ago. It's building. Mm-hmm. It's spreading. It's like a contagion right now.
I can't believe how loud that laugh was. Yeah. That felt like a stage laugh. That's not a laugh of a man who is unconfident about his views being at least tolerable out there. This happened to me the other night. I was walking down Fulton Street here in Brooklyn, New York, and there's these guys on the street doing some kind of preaching. I believe they were Black Israelites. And at some point we were walking down and they're like, hey, Israel, yes, Israel, no, Israel or Hamas? And we're like, oh, okay, Israel. Got a hard choice. And he was like, boo, Hamas, we like Hamas. Just yelling, laughing, carrying on, having a good time. I tend to look at all of what's happened in addition to the human scale tragedy and everything else that we've talked about. But it's like a margin call on institutions, on individuals, on the media, certainly. But it suddenly will smoke out what has been happening and what kind of concepts have been sort of bubbling up unchallenged.
I want to tell you about my new sponsor, C60 Power. C60 Power says it can help to increase energy and mental clarity by neutralizing oxidative stress and the toxic free radicals that contribute to aging. If you have not heard of carbon 60 before, it's also known as C60, which C60 Power says is a powerful, naturally occurring, Nobel Prize-winning antioxidant that works at the cellular level. Now, not all producers of C60 are created equal. It's very important to go for high-quality 99.99% pure C60 and do not accept any cheap knockoffs. Many people who consume just a teaspoon a day of C60 Power as part of their morning routine note an increase in energy and mental clarity within 30 days of daily use. If you feel like you're slowing down, could benefit from more energy and mental clarity, and you're ready to kick brain fog to the curb, you can visit shopc60.com and use the code Megyn10 for 10% off your first order. That's shopc60.com, promo code Megyn10, or just click the link in the description for shopc60.com. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.